Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life, and what you're seeing on screen is another AT&T C-RAN in El Paso, Texas. This time on the west side of town. These are popping up like weeds. They're popping up very quickly, and these are going in a lot of areas, believe it or not, where AT&T has a low RSRP. So they are using these as coverage replacements. Just to give you an example, this C-RAN is on Belvedere and Wrestler, for those of you who are familiar with the area. Right behind the C-RAN, Verizon and T-Mobile are on a macro. The better solution here, 100%, would have been for AT&T to co-locate on the macro, but instead they decided to do the C-RAN. So I just wanted to point that out. At the intersection itself, AT&T still connects to C-band from a nearby macro, so speeds are fine. As you pass this C-RAN going into this C-RAN is not on yet, by the way. As you pass into these neighborhoods that you see here behind the C-RAN, the signal gets very, very weak. It's a very low RSRP area. I saw it go to like 112, 117, 122. Just to give you guys an example. So this C-RAN is going to fill in that coverage, but at the same time, it's going to take on a lot of load. So this is not just an offload. This is also a coverage fix, or to help fix the coverage. So they're probably going to add a few more C-RAN throughout this neighborhood to help with all of the connections that this specific C-RAN will take on. Wanted to also share with you guys some performance. So I will say this, I will be very honest. Across the macro grid, AT&T is very fast. And I have an update. So I made a video not too long ago where you guys saw a lot of buffering and stuff on the video playback. So I got the line reprovisioned. I got there was some kind of HD cap on that line for whatever reason. So I got that taken off. So it's now full 4K. And video loads fine. But as you can see, this is on the west side of town. AT&T is fast. They are very fast. And in many cases, as crazy as this sounds, comparing that to T-Mobile, AT&T is way faster in a lot of areas than T-Mobile. And that's not to say that T-Mobile is completely congested and they're not working. No, I'm just saying the difference in the performance. So where T-Mobile does 200 to 300, AT&T will consistently do 600 plus, 700, 800, 900 consistently. Now there are some, even in areas where T-Mobile, I've noticed where T-Mobile does 500, 600, maybe even 650, AT&T still faster, 850, 900. So there is a difference in market share. So I will point that out. Across the Interstate 10, most sites now for T-Mobile are at 120. So they're matching what AT&T has on air. AT&T has 80 C-band, 40 DoD. So they match each other on the spectrum, but the market share is a bit different, right? T-Mobile is sitting right around, last time I checked, T-Mobile is sitting at about 38, 39% market share. AT&T has around 22, 23% and growing. So still a gap, but AT&T is growing with the fiber convergence to wireless. So the wireless network has a ton of capacity. I can't stress that enough. There isn't a time of day where I can tell you guys, okay, at 3 p.m. AT&T is slower. No, AT&T is consistently the same speed throughout really any part of the day. With T-Mobile now, with the market share that they have, the FWA, I have established, okay, at this time in the morning, T-Mobile is its fastest. During the day, they slow down, and then into the evenings, they slow down a little more, and then later in the evening, late nights, they pick up again in speed. With AT&T, I have not been able to establish that. AT&T performs the same on my home site at any part of the day. They give me the same speeds. So also, one thing to point out, AT&T here in El Paso is still not a approved FWA market. So there is no internet air going across any of the grid in terms of traffic. They just haven't approved it for the consumer side. Business, they do approve it, but I doubt they have much traffic from the business side. And even the business internet, I've tested that one. It doesn't really allow for much, right? If you go over a certain amount, they throttle the connection. It's really not meant for streaming. So it's really just meant for emails, point of sales, just business stuff. So that doesn't really take a lot of capacity from the macro grid. Even if they have a lot of internet air customers, which I doubt, it doesn't take a lot of capacity to run it. So this is interesting. I will keep testing. I'll do an update on the whole streaming situation so you guys can see that. But you can see it on screen. 850, 820, 668, 415, 677, 381. The uplink is the uplink is solid. There's a couple of teens in there, but mostly 20s and above. 827, 945, 954. The lowest I've seen was the 381. That's the lowest I've seen, and that was a bit further from a site. So again, great performance from AT&T. They're getting faster on some macros, on some sectors. That's likely to higher provisioning on the backhaul. So I got to keep track. I want to see how this affects AT&T as they continue to grow, and if they ever add FWA to the consumer side, if it will slow down the network. But for now, like I said, I can't tell you a time of day where AT&T is slower than what I see early morning, late nights. There isn't. I can pull 800, 900 on my home sector at 2, 3, 11 a.m., 6 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever. I can pull the same speed. There is no difference. So just wanted to share this with you guys to let you know, give you updates. Like I said, this is faster than what T-Mobile is producing at this time. T-Mobile had to reduce some spectrum because of interference. So AT&T is really picking it up. They are the ILEC in my market. So I want to point that out too. They are the ILEC, so they run their own fiber to the cell. So they're going to push the highest possible backhaul that these sites can do on the circuit. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know how AT&T is performing in your market. Do they still have work to do? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.